Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. Discover has announced the 5% cashback categories for the Discover It card for the first quarter of 2023. We're going to take a look at them in this video. Now, in the past, Discover has announced their whole calendar of the 5% categories for each calendar quarter. They've done the whole year all at one time. Not doing that anymore. Now they're going to dole it out quarter by quarter, so we only have the 5% categories for the first quarter of 2023. At this point, those categories are grocery stores, drugstores, and select streaming services. Looking at those categories, the 5% at grocery stores is going to exclude specifically Target and Walmart. There may be other exclusions as well. Things like Costco, Sam's Club, which are warehouse stores, are not going to fall under grocery stores because grocery stores means standalone, dedicated grocery stores. That's what they are looking for here. This is not a surprise. This is generally how it works with all credit card companies when they talk about grocery stores. In terms of drugstores, that should pretty much cover you anywhere that you think of as a somewhat traditional drugstore. In terms of streaming services, now Discover had streaming services a couple years ago. They did not have it in 2022 as a category. A couple years ago, they had a long list that seemed to include all of the streaming services that you might normally think of. This quarter coming up here in 2023, they do have a long list, and it includes things like, HBO and YouTube TV and Spotify and Pandora and a whole bunch of other things. But what it doesn't show in the list is no Netflix, no Hulu, no Disney Plus. So I don't know if those are excluded or if for whatever reason Discover doesn't want to show those as potential streaming services. They do have sort of a cover your butt sentence at the end of the fine print that says other streaming services may be included. But normally, if you are going to have a select streaming services category and you're going to list a bunch of them that are included, you're probably going to include Netflix if it's included. You're probably going to include Hulu if it's included. You're probably going to include Disney Plus if it is included. So we'll see. Maybe there's going to be some more official announcement from Discover that kind of lays that out better. But at least initially, I have to wonder if those are being left out. You get that 5% on up to $1,500 worth of purchases in those 5% categories combined per calendar quarter, the calendar quarter being January 1st to March 31st of 2023. So for that first $1,500 worth of purchases, you're going to get 5%. If you go beyond $1,500 of purchases in those 5% categories, you'd get 1% on those purchases. All other purchases with the card also get you 1%. Now remember, you have to activate in order to get your 5% on those particular purchasing categories, meaning you have to tell Discover, yes, I do want 5% on those categories, even though there's no reason that you wouldn't want 5%. But anyway, you have to go online or you have to go in their app or maybe even call Discover and tell them, yes, I do want the 5%. Now, so going forward, Discover is only going to reveal their 5% categories for each quarter a month before that quarter starts instead of the full year laying all their cards on the table like they used to do. Now the Chase Freedom Flex, another 5% rotating category card with a lot of similarities to the Discover It card, has always gone quarter by quarter. So they've been allowed to just essentially check out what Discover is going to do and maybe tweak their own calendar quarters to match Discover or maybe to be complementary to Discover depending on how they feel, but now it's not going to work that way. Still, Chase is going to be a couple weeks before they tell us what they're doing for the first quarter, but they're getting much less of a jump on Discover in terms of being able to see their whole calendar far in advance. So what do we think of these categories? Pretty good. 5% on grocery stores always is welcome, especially on a no annual fee card. If you're not getting that elsewhere, you're going to be happy with this quarter for sure. 5% at drugstores is impactful for some people. 5% on streaming services could be very impactful if you use a lot of streaming services, which I feel like more and more of us do. But again, if certain services are being left off there, like Netflix, Hulu, then maybe you're not going to enjoy that streaming services list quite as much. So we'll have to keep our eye open and see if Discover is going to give us a little more information on why the list includes some and not others that we might expect. That's it. Questions, comments, your thoughts about the first quarter, put them in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to ProudMoney.com where we do credit card reviews. We talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not going to leave a comment, you're not going to go to the website, maybe you'll want to check out this video.